What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Doctor Who review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 10th Doctor David Tennant story, Fear Her. It's another episode from Series 2, and it is widely regarded as the worst story from probably all of RTD's era, definitely from Tennant's era. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty comfortable to say that at least of RTD1, his original era, this is the episode that most people consider to be the weakest. So I've, of course, seen it quite a few times, as I have with most of Doctor Who, especially this period. And I will be honest, I went into this one knowing that I probably also agree with the fact that it's the weakest, but taking an analytical look at it, what will I find out? So anyway, let's get started with the cast. David Tennant as the Doctor. He's really good here. He is definitely one of the best things about this story for sure. He has some really funny moments, like him sticking his finger in the peanut butter jar. What else? Like when they rock up at the house, that's just saying hello and all that sort of stuff. And the thing with the cat going missing, how the cat disappears and he's like, whoa, that was like, I'm gonna have some of that. That whole thing is funny. When the TARDIS lands and it's facing the wrong way, he has plenty of funny little moments. So yeah, he is good in this one. There's a good amount of story that he's not a part in, kind of. I wouldn't say it's half of the story. It's probably more like maybe a quarter of the story, perhaps a third. I don't really know. But towards the end, he isn't in it very often because he disappears. He gets drawn and disappears. So yeah, but for when he is there, I think he does a good job. Billie Piper as Rose Tyler. Yep, she's fine in this one. Also doesn't have a massive amount to do here, but she calls the Doctor out a couple of times, like when he's sticking his finger in the peanut butter jar, and just some silly little things like that. She calls him out for, and she has a little bit of a heart-to-heart moment with Chloe's mum as well, the child's mum. Especially once the Doctor is gone as well, she very much takes charge, and yeah, she's pretty decent. Right, so let's get on to some points about this episode. The TARDIS materializes facing a wall. I mentioned this just before. Despite this being a pretty poor episode, it does start very funny how the TARDIS, it's not even a wall. I think it's like between two shipping containers or something. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong, but yeah, basically it lands and the door is facing. It's either a shipping container or a wall of something, and the Doctor goes to get out, and he's like, "Oh," shuts the door. Rematerializes facing the right way. I just thought funny little gag for the beginning of the episode. The child Chloe is drawing people, and they vanish. So this is the main thing of the story. This girl, Chloe Webber, is in a house. She's drawing. I mean, the whole thing is set just before the Olympics, so the London 2012 Olympics, which for this story, which came out in 2006, that's 6 years in the future. Of course, it's 12 years in our past now. That's pretty crazy to think about. But this was the future London 2012 Olympics. So the torch is going to come through their street, and this kid is she's drawing people. She loves drawing. She draws people, mostly like kids and animals, and then they disappear, never to be seen. So it's a mystery going on. Everybody wants to know what's going on just on this street. It's crazy. You have to be careful with your kids out because they might disappear. Nobody knows what's going on. So that is the premise of the story. I will at this point also mention Chloe Webber. I don't have the actress's name up here right now, but I will be honest, this is one of the cases of child actors in Doctor Who not being great. I don't particularly like the character. I mean, yeah, and the acting, it's child acting, so you can't have a massive go at it, but it is pretty poor in my opinion, which is unfortunate, but yeah, doesn't help. Chloe drew her dad. So her dad, we found out, has been dead for quite a while, and it turns out he was a pretty bad guy. I don't know if he was like, I think he was an abuser or something. He's obviously portrayed as a pretty bad person, and he died, but Chloe draws her, and she ends up, kind of draws him, and he's then in like her wardrobe, and is making horrible noises, glows red, pretty creepy, pretty terrifying. So yeah. The doctor sticking his finger in the peanut butter. I mentioned this before as well, but it's just a funny moment. Despite this being such a poor episode in a lot of ways, it does have a couple of really good standout, great funny moments from the doctor, especially. I mean, him sticking his finger in the peanut butter, going to lick his fingers, and then Rose is just looking at him like, "What are you doing?" And then he just kind of puts the jar behind him. Oh, it's hilarious. Chloe is being used as a vessel for a lonely creature that is used to living in a big family called the Isolus. So that's what we find out. This isn't just a child, a normal child. She's been taken over by this thing called the Isolus, I think you pronounce it. And it's basically this little, I don't know, just this little seed-looking thing almost that's gone into her and is basically taking over her and yeah, is somehow able to, through her drawing stuff, make people disappear. I don't really know how that works. I don't think that's 100% explained, but basically this creature is known for living in families of, I believe the doctor says billions, not millions, but billions of people, billions of other beings. And, it's on its own. It's, fallen away from its family. And it's now gone into Chloe, who is also she's a very lonely child. So it's kind of gone to her and somehow is able to, take people from drawings out, and I don't know where they go, but it's I don't really know how that works. I don't think it's explained. The Isolus spaceship landed in the hot tar. So that's another big thing in this episode. The whole, the whole the tar thing, how you've got that guy there, the council worker, working for the council, as he says. That's probably a terrible impression of that accent. But he keeps, paving this road to make it as smooth as possible for when the torch is coming through. And it turns out that this Isolus ship has actually, it's attracted to heat, and it found the hot tar, and basically landed in the hot tar, and then went to Chloe from there. So Chloe then draws the doctor. So the doctor gets drawn as he's going to the TARDIS, and the doctor's now gone. He's no longer there. Rose is on her own. She's now got to try and sort this out. So it puts, Rose in a bit of a situation not having the doctor there, although he does, because he's able to somewhat communicate through the drawings, which is a bit convenient. But yeah, he's basically able to still tell her, you need to do this, and he tells her, he points to the torch, because the torch is just coming through at that point. He's basically in the drawing pointing to the torch. This is heat, it's hot, throw the spaceship into there, or throw the little pod, because they managed to find the pod in the ground. The whole, you're using a council axe to dig up a council road, I'll report you to the council. It's another funny little line when Rose does that, and she throws the little spaceship into the torch, and that fixes the day. The ship needed heat and love to recharge. So yes, that's what I just talked about. It needed the heat from the torch to recharge itself, so that the Isolus could go back in and fly back away to its family. And it also needed the love, apparently. It's another one of those, love kind of saves the day sort of scenarios, which I never like in Doctor Who. But in this one, it's not, I don't know how I feel about it. So that's all the points I've got on Fear Her. Now, a rating out of 10, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. It's not great. It's, for me, definitely the weakest of this season, and probably the weakest of Tennant's run, and including Eccleston's run as well. A 4 out of 10 though, it's not an absolutely awful rating. I think it is quite below average, but to be honest, although this one is a bit boring, not particularly exciting, a few things not really making sense, it has those good moments in it, and it's not absolutely awful. I'd still rather watch this than quite a few from Smith, Capaldi, Whittaker, or even, the new series with Ncuti Gatwa. I'd still watch this over some stories from there. So, a 4 out of 10 for Fear Her. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.